What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our new politically correct production of The Good, the Bad, and the Beauty Impaired. Today we're going to be talking about S3, or Simple Storage Service, which, fun fact, was one of the first AWS services to launch. And it's basically like Dropbox without the downloadable clients for your computer and mobile devices. So anyways, S3 buckets allow you to store images and videos in large files and share these assets directly with your users without having to configure your servers and file shares like you would have done with EFS. Now, S3 is a lot slower than both EFS and EBS. And I know it sounds similar to EFS, but with S3 you don't need a server to host your files. And believe it or not, a lot of websites do use this kind of thing where they use a different database, not really a database, like a bucket to store their images. So take WordPress for example. So WordPress, you have to use a plugin and tell it to store all the static stuff from the media library, like blog images and videos, in an S3 bucket. WordPress has their own. I'm not too sure what they use, but I know they do this kind of thing. And then when WordPress renders your site, it'll point directly to the S3 bucket's public URL to serve those images and videos independent of your server. So we're gonna actually be setting up a S3 bucket, and this video might be a little long, but don't worry, it's going to be exciting. The reason why is because we're actually going to be doing a little bit of coding. We're going to be connecting this through the CLI and actually connecting this through Node.js. And you can do it with Python and Java and Ruby, but since I'm a Node.js guy, we're going to be doing it through Node.js. So over here, let's actually type in S3, get the scalable. Right here, we're going to create a bucket. You could name it whatever you want. This bucket is literally just going to be a bucket. So I'm going to just say S3 demo bucket. And we do have to have a unique number right beside it, like a unique identifier. Because if you just put if you put S3 demo bucket right now, it's not going to let you. It says that it already exists, even though we don't have one. As you saw, we don't have one. So we're going to just put random numbers in the back. It doesn't matter how many, just put some random numbers. And just say create bucket. Alright, here it is. I did forget to mention this. Make sure that the region is the regions that your servers are in and stuff like that, so that way it has a faster connection to it. And also, just like any other thing, like the servers that we created, since we just created this, we actually just went through the default settings of this. So we have the default settings of how S3 buckets are made. So actually just click inside of this, and we're going to create a new folder in here. Create folder, name it. I'm going to just name it test for right now, and put save. Now inside that folder, let's actually upload an image. Now you could create another folder within the folder, but let's just upload an image. I'm going to use one of my thumbnails that I've used before. Opening it, next, and next. Oh, actually, don't. Yeah, this is one thing. This is another thing that you don't have to. Well, right now we're not going to worry about. Let's just say upload. So right here, if you click on this and then try to go to the objects URL, we're going to get a blocked page or access denied. The reason why is because, like I said, the default settings for a bucket when you actually do a bucket is actually private. So the public URL or the public internet won't be able to access the images that you want. Not want, but you want to share. So, but any of the users on your AWS account with access to the S3 can see the files in here and upload and download them. But the public internet, like I said, cannot. So right now it's kind of like a Dropbox without file sharing, but you can use S3 from within your app to store users' uploads securely. Okay? I don't know if you know this, but one of the most common methods of data breaches that happen in in the past few years, is from organizations who upload an encrypted file to a public S3 bucket, like a database dump with all their customers' personal information. So you really want to be careful of like how you set up your S3 buckets. So that way you have public and private. I would recommend having two S3 buckets. A bucket that's private, so that way all the private information could go to that bucket specifically, and then a bucket that's public. Even though, yes, within a bucket you can have files and folders that are public and private, but messing around with those settings within a bucket is just annoying. Just have a bucket for private and another bucket for public. So with that said, let's actually get into how we're going to actually store things inside our bucket through the CLI command line interface, right? So that way in our local machine, I could actually upload to my bucket right here without actually having to log into it. And then we'll get into like how to actually do this with actual Node.js code. So I already have some stuff pulled up. Let's go to AWS right here, CLI. This is the one we need right now. And don't worry, this will be in the documentations or the description down below. So what we want to do is actually install a version of a CLI that AWS lets us have or lets us use. So I'm in Windows, so I'm going to be installing the Windows version, but you could go on a Mac or Linux. So I'm going to go to Windows. And I've already installed it, but I am going to go through the process with you. So if you scroll down and say installing on Windows, number one, you do need to install this little packet. So just install it. I already have it, but let's just install it again. What the hell, right? Once this is hold on, I'll be back when it's done. All right, it's done. So let's open this sucker, run it. Welcome. Yes, next. And do not change any of this. Don't change anything. Like right now, I do have to. It's going to. Since I already have it, don't worry. Just go through it and don't just do everything default, okay? It is very simple to actually install. So I'm going to just cancel all of this. Yes, I want to stop. Finish. So once you actually are done, let me actually go in here. CMD. All right. Once you're actually done, you could actually do AWS -- version to see if you actually have the correct, or you've actually installed it. And you should see something like this right here. As you can see down here as well. Right there. Something like this, okay? So if you're seeing this, that means that you've successfully installed it, and now you could actually do CLI within your local machine. Now what we need to do is, since this is an API, we have to give it our secret key, our that secret key that we created. Yeah, this is the time we're going to actually be using it. Now, don't worry if you actually forgot it, because I forgot mine. I never actually remembered it. Let's actually go create one right now. Let's go right here. Let's go to, I'm going to actually open another tab. Let's go to WDJ, my security credentials, and let's create another one, because I honestly forgot to store it. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys don't even know where you downloaded it at. Let's delete the one that is active right now, so that way no one can use it. Say delete. Let's create an access key. Get the show secret access key. Copy it. All right. Now in our CLI, we do need to configure our CLI to actually use these access keys, or we need to configure AWS to use this access key and the secret access key. Okay. So we need to do AWS configure. Press enter, and it's going to tell you, I already put mine in here, okay? It's going to tell you enter your access ID. So let's actually do it. Let's screw it. Let's do it again. Let's see if it actually lets me. Paste it. Nope. Paste it right there. Press enter. It's going to tell you, okay, give me your secret key. Copy that and paste it right there. Enter. Default region name. So this is the part where you actually want to pay attention. Where was it where you actually, your region over here? If you forgot, just go to your Amazon S3 bucket, and it should tell you your region right off the back right here. It is US East 1 for me, since I am using the Virginia one. It's US East 1. Make sure to put this in there. Okay, so I'm gonna leave mine default because that's actually the correct one for me. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And I do want, how do you want your, so when you're using the API, you have two ways of actually doing it. Getting the JSON formatted away, or just getting a list of stuff. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. But I want JSON, since we do know how to work with JSON. We want the information coming back to us JSON formatted. And there you go. You've actually set up your command prompt or CLI, CMD, whatever you want to call it, to actually connect to this S3 bucket right here. Well, not this S3 bucket, but connect to the AWS service, so that way we could start uploading and downloading stuff from our buckets. Now, like I said, we could get a list of our buckets, or there's actually two ways of getting lists of our bucket or interacting with our buckets. All right, and there's the API way, or there's just the standard just CLI way. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So if you do AWS S3 API, this is a command, and we're telling the S3 API to say, we want to list all the buckets. So I'm going to just say list buckets. Just like that. And it's going to give us our buckets back. You see that right there? It's going to give us our buckets back in a JSON formatted way, which is awesome. This is the API version of getting the information. Now let's say we just wanted the standard way of getting information without all this nonsense or this fancy stuff. And we do that by saying AWS and just using the S3 command without the API, just S3 ls. And this will give you a list of all the buckets just simply named like this, the date and all that stuff. See, it's just a name. Right here, it's the JSON and the owner, and it gives you like information that you probably would need for an application, but if you're doing it through the CLI, you don't need all this fancy stuff. You just need it to like spell out, hey, what is this right here, or what are the buckets listed? So, like I said, just do some research on it. There are two ways of actually interacting with it: the S3 API command and the S3 command. Now let's actually try to upload something to our bucket, just to make sure we actually do have that connection. I'm gonna be uploading an image. So let me actually find an image that I want to use. Let me see, downloads. All right, I found an image in my downloads, so we're going to be using that. So the way we actually do this, and we're going to be using the S3 command. So AWS S3, and we need to do it like Linux. Like I said, you do need to know Linux for this stuff. So what we want to do is actually copy the image from wherever. In my case, my downloads file. I want to copy an image from my downloads file and paste it onto the S3 bucket. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to use tilde /downloads. Let's navigate to your to the picture that you want to do, downloads, and then mine is called capture. Download. Let me see what I know. Okay, so I need to actually type it. Okay, capture dot jpg. I'm trying to see if I spelled that. Okay, I did. And where do I want to? Oh, I forgot to say. AWS S3 CP. We want to copy. What we want to copy is this, and we want to copy it to the S. This is how you actually link to your bucket. S3 :// and then the name of the bucket that you want to copy it to, which is in this case this right here. Paste it right there. And what I'm going to be doing is actually adding a / just to indicate that I want to be copying it to the root of this bucket and not into a folder. You can do it in a folder. Just type in the folder right here like we did. We had it in test. So if I wanted to do it inside that folder, I would just type in test. But I don't. I just want it in the root. And let's hit enter. Let's see what happens. Does not exist. Yeah, I thought so. All right, I just dragged it. I got my image and I just dragged it in here. Let's see if that works. And yeah, okay, upload. I just uploaded something, okay? So that worked. So now what we need to do is, let's see if it actually worked. Let's go in here and we're going to, there it is, my capture.jpg, the one I actually want to copy and paste, which is awesome. We actually got our CLI. Now we could actually upload stuff to our bucket. Now let's actually get into the fun part where we actually code. We're not going to code anything. It's a GitHub repository that AWS gives us, but we're actually going to be using code to actually be, uploading some stuff to the file or to the bucket. And we're going to be using the AWS SDK. So just to let you know. All right, let me actually open up that Git repository. All right, let me get out of this. I don't need this no more. Oh, that's true. Okay, I don't need that. This is the one, the Git repository. This is the one right here. All right. So in order to actually do this, we do need to go inside of one of our servers and actually, install this in one of the servers. Actually, it's not going inside the servers. So when I was actually doing this, I actually went inside one of the servers that we created, and I did it in there. But technically, we should be able to do it outside of the server. So let's actually try it outside of the server first. Oof. All right, so I'm gonna just leave that terminal right there. So we're gonna clone this repository, and let me actually tell you what's going to happen. The sample.js. So they're just using two packages, AWS SDK and Node UUID. Node UUID is just to give you a random information or random bits of numbers, a unique identifier. And AWS SDK is the actual module to use to actually connect to the bucket. So they're actually creating a new client right here, and then they're gonna give it a name. Here's the bucket name. So they're gonna be creating a new bucket. And the key name is hello world.txt. And then they're going to create the bucket right here. The bucket is going to be the bucket name up here, the function. They're going to give it params, bucket, the key, and the body, what the body of the key is going to be. So in this case, hello world.txt is going to have inside of it hello world. And if anything goes wrong, they're going to throw out an error. Else, they're going to throw out a successful message. That's basically it. It's pretty much, this is a simple application or a code to actually use. So let's do it. Let me actually copy this right here. Okay, clone. I'm going to just clone this in my desktop. Sure, let's do it on my desktop so I could know where it's at. All right, git clone and paste it in here. All right, now that's done. It tells you the steps what we need to do in here. Okay, so we do need to go inside that cd into AWS and then npm install, since we do need to install some stuff. Now, if you are doing this inside of your server, just remember your server is brand new, so you don't have npm installed. Git is installed automatically, so you don't have to worry about that. But if just in case it's not installed, you would have to do sudo apt-get install, and then you want to install, if you don't have Git, install Git and npm, since you're not going to have npm installed in it. So if you are doing it in your server, just run this command and you should have Git and npm installed, and then you could do npm install for the packages that come with this file or this folder. All right, now what we need to do is actually get our, okay, I still have it. That's good. All right, now what we need to do is actually create a credentials file, and it tells you right here exactly how to actually do it. Okay, so it tells you to create a credentials file at tilde, your very root of the page, and then .aws, a hidden folder right here. So that's what we're going to be doing. So, and this is what AWS, the SDK that we installed over here in sample.js. This module looks for that file and is going to look for the credentials file inside of this folder. So that's why we need to do it. So let's go right here. We're gonna say touch tilde / dot. Oh, we need to make a directory first. So mkdir tilde / dot aws. Control enter. Cannot create directory. File exists. I already have it. I already have it. ls tilde / dot aws. I already have it. What? That is crazy. I already have it. All right, cool. I already have it. So when you actually, I'm gonna still do it anyways. So do this command first. So you're going to create directory, and then what you want to do is say touch / and navigate to that folder .aws. And what you want to do right here is say credentials, then no .txt, no nothing, just literally type out credentials and press enter. It's going to say I already have it. I guess it, oh, because I misspelled it. That's why it created another one. So I'm actually going to remove that file. I'm actually go up one. RM, there you go. All right, so we just created a credentials file inside of the .aws. Now what we need to do is actually copy this. Let's copy this. To make it a whole lot easier for you guys, since I'm pretty sure most of you do not know how to use Vim, get out a notepad, paste that in here, and then just type in or paste in, copy this, and paste it in here, just like that. So paste it, and right here, let's copy this, paste. All right. Now what you want to do is grab all that, copy it, and now we're going to go back in our CLI, and then what we're going to do is say sudo, or if you are on a server, type in sudo. I'm not. I'm already an administrator of this machine, my machine. So we're going to do vim tilde, and then navigate to that AWS, to that folder AWS, and then credentials. All right. See, I already have it already here. Okay, that's why. So what I'm going to do is actually delete all of this. Just delete it all. And then what we're going to do is actually paste what we just copied from the notepad in here. So what you want to do is do shift insert. Okay, and you should obviously see what you got in here, right? So all right, now you hit escape, shift colon to get the colon, and then type in X and then enter. And then you should be able to see it by saying cat tilde / .aws credentials, and then you should see exactly what's in that file. So I can see that we actually have our stuff in that file. So let me actually go in here now. Not going in here. Let's actually try to run that application now, since it says right. Yeah, okay. Now that we've done all of this, now we could actually run our application. So let's go into, we're already in AWS, so I'm just say node and then sample. And we should see, okay, successfully uploaded data to Node SDK. So let's see. Let's go to our, right here, let's go to Amazon S3. And we should see, there it is, our new, what's it called? Our thing that we just created, whatever, the bucket. There you go, the bucket we just created, and inside of there, we should have that text file, hello world.txt, and inside of this, we should have hello world. Now, let's actually modify that stuff. What's happening here? Let's go to file. Let me actually open that file. Open folder. We're going to go to desktop, and we're going to do AWS node right there. And let's actually configure this just a little bit, and we're going to be uploading the exact same file into the bucket that we just got, or we created, which is this one. I'm just going to copy this, the name of it. Where's my thing? Right here. So the bucket name is going to be this. Hello world.txt. That's fine. And let's try to do this. This should give us the hello world.txt inside of the bucket. So control save. And here, let's run it again. All right, there it is. So let's go inside of our, right there. And then inside of S3, we should see hello world. Awesome. So now we actually have that, set up pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But the thing is, which is pretty bad, this is pretty bad. And the reason I say it's pretty bad the way we did it, the way we did it is because right now this code needs that .aws folder, and inside of that folder, the credentials, it needs our credentials, which I said that having our secret key inside of our server is really it's pretty bad. The reason why is because if anybody hacks into it, they know to look into the .aws and then go to credentials and see whose credentials is it and use that secret key, since it's plain sight. Like I said, anybody could read it. Like we read it right there. We just did cat and then saw what's inside that file, which is this, and it has my secret key right here. So I could, if I was a bad person, I could grab this and then use the API and start messing around with my server in bad ways, obviously. And another thing is that anybody could use this now. Anybody in that server could actually start using this file, and since it's my secret key, it's, well, they don't have to like put their own. It's going to be my secret key they're going to be using, so they can start doing things a lot pretty bad. Anyways, you know what I'm trying to say, right? You know what I'm trying to say. There's actually a way for them to not have this, or for us not to have our secret key in our server. And we're going to be doing that. And that's actually defined in the IAM roles. Now, we're obviously logged in as an IAM user. Let's go back over here. Our IAM user, our WDJ user. And we could actually define a role to actually say, hey, if this user is in the or if this user has access to one of the servers inside of AWS right here. Let's go to servers, EC2 instances. Right here, if this user has any access to one of these servers, then they could write directly to it by using their secret keys or stuff like that. But the thing is, we don't have to have those credentials inside of this web server. Enough talking, let's actually see what I'm talking about. So let's go to services, type in IAM, click that, and then go to roles, and then we're going to create a role, okay? And we want to create a role for our AWS service, which is the EC2. Now, you could actually do another one if you wanted to, but we're only doing AWS. So click on EC2, and then click on next permission. Right here, we're going to create a policy. Oh, not create a policy, sorry, it wasn't rendering. What we're going to type in here is search for S3. And we want the Amazon S3 full access, okay? So this full access is going to give, it grants full access to any S3 bucket on our account. But you can also create a custom policy that allows only read or write permissions to a single bucket if you would like. So we want the full access, go to next tag, just put next. And the role name, I already did it. So S3 grant for EC2 demo. That's what I named it. You can name it whatever you want. And then create role. All right, we actually created this role. Now let's go to our actual instance. Now let's go to our instance. Why am I doing support? Go right here, go to our instance. We're going to apply that role, the one we just created, to one of these servers. So I'm actually going to do to web server 2. You can do whatever. So I'm going to go click right here, go to actions, do, where is it at? Right here. Instant settings, attach, replace, IAM role. Right here, we want to do the S3 grant for demo. Or if it doesn't show it right here, then just search it up here. But you should see it right here. And just hit apply. And this will apply to it, obviously. So now, let's actually get inside the server or log into this server. And it's up here, connect, and this we're going to be using this. Copy. Over here. I'm going to clear this out. Let's connect to it. Paste it, and yeah, okay. Let's actually do tilde. Don't forget about this stuff. .ssh // and there you go. Get rid of this, and we're not going to be doing root. We're going to be doing Ubuntu. So Ubuntu, and click enter, and we should be logged into our server. Let's clear this out. Now what we want to do is actually install this exact same application. So I'm going to say install, copy that, go over here, and git clone and paste it in there. Cloning. So we should be able, there it is right there. So let's go into that AWS and let's do npm install or I. And it's going to install all the dependencies that we needed. Now what we could do is actually, let me actually go in here and actually, I say actually a lot. Let's go in here and actually, there it goes again, delete. Well, we can't delete this. Okay, what we're going to be doing is naming a bucket. So that way we actually know that there's going to be a different bucket in here. So we're going to be doing vim sample. And we're going to be changing some stuff, just a little bit of stuff. That's it. So for my, right here. So for my bucket name, that's the only thing I'm going to be changing. I'm actually going to say WDJ, I'm pretty sure he knew, bucket. And let's just save this. And you know what? Sorry, now that I know, we're not going to be able to save it. Oh, we actually saved it. What? Let's see, cat sample. Okay, we actually saved it. Awesome. Okay, clear. Never mind, we saved it. So now, if you already know, we have not done this part yet right here, the AWS.credentials, and we don't need to no more since we assigned that row that gave us full access to the server. We don't really need to no more. So let's actually run the code without having to do or having to create that AWS and credentials and all that. So node sample, and it should, what happened? We got something wrong. We got something wrong. Hold on. Yeah, I know that maybe we're not allowed to, there's some things that I still need to, maybe we're not allowed to do the underscore. Oops. Damn it. Do the I. I'm gonna just do a dash. Let's just try that. I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to do that, but let's see. Oh, we still get it. Let me see. No such bug. Yes, I know that bucket doesn't exist. Let me see if I actually did create it. And this, I'm leaving this inside. I'm not editing this out, so that way you can see that there's actual problems into doing this. Whatever. You know what? Let's just do damn it. Let's do all lowercase. Why? Sorry, not you. I. Bucket. WDJ. And I'm gonna just do it one word. Let's have at it. Let's see. X. Now let's try it. Oh, there it is. Oh, so maybe we can't do uppercase. Maybe. Probably that's it. That's probably it, right? Anyways, as you can see, we actually successfully uploaded our stuff. Let me actually refresh this. And there's our, where is it at? Right here, bucket, or WDJ bucket. And we go inside of it, we should see our text. And there you go. We actually did it without having to apply our credentials inside that server. So now that if our server does ever get hacked, they're not going to be able to get our credentials, which is great, which is awesome. That's what we wanted. I mean, even though they're inside our server, they're not going to be able to get our access or credentials to actually use the API to do damage to our, man. Once they're on our server, we're pretty much screwed anyways because they're on our server, but at least they don't have our access keys, I guess. I don't know. You don't want them inside your server, so, I mean, but yeah, guys. That was it for this video. I just wanted you to know what S3 Bucket was, which is another storage solution, but it's super slow, or slower than the, like I said in the beginning, the EFS or EBS. And this is typically just to store documents like images, files, something that you would link to actually go into your web application. Mostly just pictures. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be pictures for you guys. I use it for pictures, but that's about it. But thank you guys so much for watching this. I will leave links in the description for all the SDK of this GitHub repository and all that stuff. I will leave it. Don't worry. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate your time, you spending your time watching these videos, and I hope you learned something from it. I mean, you are spending time watching these videos, and I really do hope you're learning something from it. If you're not, leave a comment down below on what I could be doing for you to actually get value out of this. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a dislike if you disliked it. But yeah, all in all, thank you guys. Honestly, I appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next video. Not last, but the next video. Bye.